This is the Giraffes Don't Eat Steak podcast, a show that brings you marketing stories, tips, hints, and much more. A treat for those who want to succeed in business or marketers who just want to learn. Hello, Alex.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. Guestless today.
No guests today, just you and
Back
me. It's been a while.
back to the old regime.
Just for a little while. We'll have some stunning guests lined up. I'm already booking guests into January. Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome. And
And people are asking me. I got approached by 3 people on LinkedIn going, I see you have a
that,
podcast. Can you join?
that's crazy. That is crazy. It's mad. People are mad. People are mad.
No, we have just awesome content. Why are you always knocking us?
Because that's one of my favorite pastimes is making fun of myself and my own things.
Right. So I thought we can talk a little bit about Black Friday today. I've had a few debates with clients and other colleagues this week about whether or not to do a Black Friday sale. And for those of
Hmm.
you who don't know, Black Friday is really an American thing. It's all
Mhm.
about Thanksgiving, but as with most things, the rest of the world, we've taken it on board, and it's come in the marketing world, it's come to mean sale, right? It's really about sale,
It is, right? This is like
special
the
offer.
the winter sale kind of thing, but at a specific day. But it's moved from just the day now. Or maybe I'm not quite right, but now they're extending it. I remember when it first started, it was, Black Friday is the only day. Now you're getting kind of like
The whole weekend,
weekend, the
or
week
the
sometimes. They
week
start,
before.
yeah,
Yeah, no, people are stretching it. I'm seeing lots of Black Friday sales last week already. Like, oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. But just like the post Christmas sales, the winter sales, it's a thing, and people know it's coming, and it's something people wait for to go and get a good deal, right? And
I think so.
I think I mean, this I'm talking about the general public because I do not fall into this category personally, but as we all know, and we talk about a lot, our own personal preference as marketers is not that important when when making strategic decisions because often they don't reflect it. Because if it was, then for example, I probably wouldn't do Black Friday because when I see Black Friday, I run a mile. I don't know why, but I do.
But it could be also the generations change, right? I think it's about understanding generations. I'm starting, I think the younger generation now is not responding as much to Black Friday sales, much more cynical, thinking about, oh, is it just the price? So it actually, it's not really a sale. Um, so there's a lot more cynicism, I think, in the younger generations, but there's still a massive population that buys off a Black Friday sale, right? So it's about understanding your target audience.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It definitely, and also, no, you're absolutely right. It depends across the market, depends across the industry, depends on the audience and the timing and the product as well. I think um, there's still an element of I think some products are difficult to put under discount because of the depreciating the value of it.
Yeah, agree,
Uh,
agree.
so I think it doesn't work for every type of product or service. So you do have to be careful as well, I think, about making sure that your product, your audience is right for that particular strategy.
Absolutely. And that's for every situation, right?
Yeah.
Not just Black Friday. But some of the reasons to try a Black Friday. So if you work out that your audience would be open to deals, right? So that's what you're looking at. And that you can have an attractive offer. It needs to be an attractive offer. If you're going to give £1 off or whatever,
Mhm.
it's not going to be strong enough. So use numbers, 50%, 100%, I don't know, 60%. use big numbers if you've got percentages or, you know, buy one, get one free, whatever it is, you need to use attractive numbers so that someone think and really feels like they're getting a deal.
Yeah, of course. And I think I can't think of an example now, but I know that I've come across some sales before where they're not really sales. They're, you know how we get free trials and things like that all the
Yeah.
time. Um, I've seen Black Friday sales, sorry, free trials dressed up as a Black Friday sale, which is actually really irritating because it's not really any different. And they try and create a sense of urgency, but it's the same thing as you can get all year round. They've just put a different bow on it. That's all.
No, and I agree with that. I think you need to be careful about being honest, right? It's about making sure that your offer is real and is valuable to the client.
Mm.
But done well, I think a Black Friday sale can increase revenue if you have an audience who is looking for that special deal, and especially if it's an audience who perhaps was on the fence about you. So if you've got your list of, past website visitors, past leads that haven't converted, that's maybe a good place to contact to set because they may have been on the fence because of price. Even better if you have the data, if you've actually done the reason for non-purchase as price, to go back to that data and say, for this week only, if you sign up, you're going to get 3 months free.
Yeah.
If you sign up by Friday or whatever it is. So that's a nice warmish list who's already seen your offer, knows your offer, and may just need a little bit of a boost to get over the line.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a good angle to, yeah, like you said, just to push over the edge.
So it
Uh,
doesn't need to be a splash, right? It doesn't have to be big ads all over, and it doesn't need to. You can be quite tactical, I think, about who the audience is and what they need to buy from you. And if price was ever an obstacle, this is a way.
yeah. So, I do love a statistic. So I've
Yes.
just got some statistics here. And we said we were talking about Black Friday not just being the day of sales. So I've got some statistics here for in the US. So the biggest days, so let's say so the Black Friday obviously is on a Friday. The biggest sales happen on between the Wednesday before and the Tuesday afterwards. The Monday, by the way, is called Cyber Monday,
Yeah,
if
it is.
you knew that. So Wednesday, then you've got Thanksgiving, which is the Thursday, Black Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Cyber Monday, and Tuesday. Which day do you think? So this is projected sales, and is also reflective of previous years as well. But I'm just looking in terms of figures for the projected sales for 2024. Which day between Wednesday and Tuesday would you think is the most lucrative in terms of volume and income from sales between those dates?
I'm going to go Cyber Monday.
Someone is on the money today.
Am I?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
So from ranking from the least lucrative day, which is not a not lucrative day, by the way, up to the most lucrative day, it goes Wednesday, so the first Wednesday at $4 billion.
Wow.
And the next day is Saturday, which is $4.8 billion. So the day after Black Friday. And then it's a Sunday, 5.2. Then it's a Tuesday, which is 5.8. And then it's Thanksgiving, which is 6.1. And then it's Black Friday, which is 10.8 billion. And then the winner or the most lucrative day is Cyber Monday, which is $13.2 billion.
Wow.
So I'd be quite interested to understand what made you pick Cyber Monday.
Oh, I was just thinking psychology. And a lot of people need to think about it. And then by the Monday, you're like, oh, I got to jump in before it's too late.
Okay.
So that was it was purely a psychological guess. Is like I'll see the offer. And again, we've spoken about frequency before, right? People need to see the offer repetitively. So you'll see it, think, oh yes, I need it. Oh yes, I need it. And then like Monday, oh flip, I better get it before it expires.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I guess um also just maybe from a practicality point of view, people are hectic going up to Thanksgiving, organizing their own personal things and traveling as well.
Yeah.
Because especially in this, if we're just talking about the States, States is a huge country. A lot of people, I guess, traveling back home for Thanksgiving, so they're traveling across country, and it's not like traveling across the UK. It's it can be 6, 7 hours traveling across the US, depending on where you are. So
Mm.
those days leading up to Thanksgiving could probably very, very busy.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
and then so once they've all eaten their big Thanksgiving turkey, um, got kind of fat and lazy, and then did nothing the Saturday and Sunday, the Monday, there's like got nothing else to do now. Well, let's go shopping. Could also be working out that way.
I think I prefer my reason to yours.
But that,
Your
yeah.
your reason's about inertia. My reason's about FOMO. Both are valid.
Yeah, both are valid. I think, there's method in, there's reasoning in both of those methodologies, those theories rather.
Mm.
Um, so what industries do you think? I would guess that the fast moving goods is probably where the majority of sales are going to be made in Black Friday. Would you think?
Yeah, definitely FMCG, right? Any physical product that you're selling is probably a good fit for Black Friday. Um, cosmetics, stationery, like you name it, chocolate, you name it, it'll be a good fit. Um, and then, I mean, it's a bit harder when you get to services because again, here you need to think much more strategically about fit, about appropriateness, about devaluing your business. Is a sale going to devalue the service that you have? I think once you get into services, you really need to start thinking about it a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, commodities should be a definite. Anything that's a commodity, right? Like, because your competitors are all going to be doing it. So you're basically just doing yourself out of a sale if you're not there.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And it's quite interesting that online versus offline shopping as well. I think because there's a different strategy behind the promotion of Black Friday if you're online versus online, right?
Mm.
So especially in this day and age, where do you put most of your focus if you're an online store? I mean, sorry, if you have both a physical and online store, what do you think it's just kind of 50-50 that you're putting your efforts into try and grab people into in store versus online? Or I guess it's probably more profitable to be able to try and keep people online rather than in store.
I think it totally depends. If I look, for example, at Next, the retailer, they don't use Black Friday,
They
but
do
they've,
not.
no, I don't think so. I don't remember Black Friday. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I should have a look before I say that. But they have specific sale weeks, right? There's the winter sale week, summer sale week, and there's an online element, but it's also in store. So it's happening at the same time. And from a store volume perspective, the store volumes are huge, but it's also a mess. Like with the volumes come increased theft. Like it creates a whole lot of additional noise in the store. And I'm sure it's the same for anyone who's doing one of those sales in a clothing store. Um, I was I don't know, have I shared with you my very first job? I worked in Woolworths, which is the South African clothing, well, it's all encompassing store, but I worked in the lingerie department, was my first job.
It's like the
And
South African version of Marks and Spencer's.
yes, very,
Yeah.
very nice. But I worked in lingerie, but my job in lingerie was literally to make sure people didn't steal. I was patrolling to make sure no one stuck underwear in their pockets, right? Like that was my job. So it's a little bit like that during sales, I think, or in clothing stores, is you need a lot more attention to make sure no one's pocketing everything. I mean, nowadays there's all the clips and stuff to that beeps when you go out of the store. But again, people have found ways to remove those, right? Anyway, the
Uh,
reason I'm saying that is I would love to know from Next what the balance is because they do put equal effort into online versus offline,
yeah.
but I'm sure volume wise, they're doing a lot more online.
Well, I only asked the question because obviously I've pulled up a statistic.
Oh, so you know the answer. It was a trick question.
So it's the the trend is kind of, I don't know, I think it's probably not what I expected. So this trend is going from 2015 to, I've only got it up until 2020. So this is participants shopping in stores. Okay, so in 2015 there was 58% people were of Black Friday participants. So I guess purchases were made in store, 58%. The next year, it went to 56. In 2017, it went to 50%, as well as 2018. So 2017 and 2018, it was right down the middle, 50-50, online, offline. And then 2019, it went down to 46. So the trend was going down and down and down. And then obviously COVID came in 2020. And so it was 39% were doing the online shopping. Sorry,
In
39%
store.
in-store shopping. 2021, it went back up to 43%. And then 2022, it went up to 56%.
Mm.
Maybe I'm not sure if it was the
Freedom. Everyone was happy to be
freedom,
back.
everyone's going back, everyone's happy to be back, and they wanted to get out on the store. But I haven't got the 2023 um 2023 numbers and the anticipated for 2024. So it'd be interesting to see how that comes out. But it's a lot closer than I thought it was, and the trend was dipping down towards COVID. And then obviously when COVID happened, it was much, much lower, and then it ramped back up again. So it'd be quite interesting to see over the next 5 years what that actually looks like. Because I think 2020 just created a bit of a
Blip.
blip within
Blip
the
in the data.
in the data. So it'd be nice to see how it unfolds in the next couple of years.
I
Um,
suppose there's some stuff that you do want to feel and look at and see, right?
well, I'm still a bit resistant to online clothes shopping, to be honest.
Are you? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Because I'm quite particular about the fit. I don't know what it is about me personally, but I like I'm more fussed about how I feel in it rather than how it looks on me, if that makes sense. So I need to, so I often quite picky with that. So I've done online shopping a few times, and often I've just been sending it back, and that just irritates me personally, just personally. So maybe there's other people like me as well who are a little bit resistant to that. But when it comes to electronics and things like that, I will always do it online.
So interesting. I hate going in store for clothes. I'd much rather buy three sizes,
Mm.
have all three delivered.
But I
Then
actually also don't like going in store.
I hate, yeah, you just don't like clothes shopping. I think that's a different problem. But I love it. I love, especially like my kids have got flat feet, so shoes is a nightmare. So this way I could buy four or five different sizes, and then they can fit it on and pick the one that works the best, and I can send the rest back. I love it. Right, it works for me. The downside is since I've done a stint in retail recently, I know that they literally just repack it and send it on, so you know other people have touched all the stuff. So there is that part of me going, you, but it's the same with it. They stick it on the shelves as well, actually.
No,
So you have
no,
no protection. Just always
yeah,
wash it first.
just
Wash
wash
it
it. Yeah.
before you wear it. Wash it before you wear it.
Yeah.
So that's the only downside for me. But yeah, I would do anything. I mean, my mom was here recently and she wanted a dress and she made me walk around like she wouldn't. I sat with my phone. I'm like, look, let's look on my phone, and she refused. We had to go walking into shops, and then of course we walked into a shop, and she found a dress she loved, which was not available in her size. So we had to walk to all the same shops and drive around to different towns to the same shop to see this dress to see if they had it in the size. I'm like, I can order it online, mom. Like literally, I can find the stuff and order it. Nope. She wanted to go and fit it on in the store. Drove me
Yeah.
nuts, but it didn't mean I got to spend a lot of quality time with my mom.
Right. I'm glad you could see the positive from it.
Have to see the positive. But yeah, we spent a lot of time driving to all the new looks in Oxfordshire. I can tell you where they all are to find this particular dress for my mother that she fell in love with.
So, Black Friday, yay or no? Yay or nay?
As with everything, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. I think if a lot of the time it's if you have the right product, if you have the right audience, if they're going to buy, then you should do it, right? And the answer to that is in the results. If you're testing it for the first time, you should know how many sales you need to make to break even and to make a profit. What makes it worth your while? So don't even launch the campaign if you haven't figured that out. So straight away say, even if it's just your own time, right? If this takes 3 hours of my time to set up this campaign, right? What is that worth? That means I need to have written 10 sales or 5 sales, whatever it is, the number of sales this that makes this profitable. And that's how you tell whether you should do it again or not.
Mm.
Because it takes the emotion out, whether you think it's icky to sell. See, a lot of people don't do the selling, right? So it becomes icky, like, oh, I don't want to be seen as a salesperson. But if it works and you get revenue, then you must do it, right? So it's almost a gentle way to get into sales because everyone's doing sales. So you're not standing out by yourself going with the placard, look at me, I'm selling.
Yeah.
But if you don't make the revenue, then don't do it again.
Yeah. Agreed.
And for you, yeah or nay?
Uh, well, for me, it's always I always think about what is the value to the customer, and my pet peeve is when you hide behind, you use Black Friday as a false lure to what your offer is. If don't offer something that you're already offering throughout the year. Don't offer something like, I don't know if it's a subscription based product. Don't just offer the first month with a 10% discount because, in their life cycle, that means nothing in the offer that you're giving them. It doesn't do anything really. It's just a bit of a scam, let's say. So make sure you're actually offering something of value to your customer. They can see there's a perceived discount, a real discount, and a real value that you're providing to them.
Mm. And the other side of that coin is implementation, right? Delivery. Make sure that the delivery is easy. That's why instant delivery products, whether it's a digital download or an online course or something like that, or a physical product that you send out and it's done, those are much easier for Black Friday. But if it's coaching, that you have to physically spend your time on, you're going to start being resentful of this person
Yeah,
who's paying so much less than everyone else.
yeah, okay.
So just be aware of the fit in terms of how much effort and time it's going to take you to deliver and whether you're still going to want to do it. When
Yeah,
you're 6 months in and this person's paying 50% of everyone else, are you still
yeah,
going to love it?
yeah. That's a really, really good point. That's a really good point. I like that one a lot.
Brilliant. Well, let's see. We obviously do not have a Black Friday sale.
Just a black t-shirt.
That's true. Well, I've got white sleeves. Does that count? Well, thanks, Alex. As usual, that was insightful. We don't always have to agree, but we always enjoy a good debate.
You do indeed. Thank you very much.
I'll
Enjoy the
talk to
rest
you
of the
soon.
day. That wraps up this episode of Giraffes Don't Eat Steak. Thanks for joining us. I hope you found value in our discussion and got some new ideas to apply to your own business. Tune in next week for another round of marketing insights and inspiration. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We appreciate you listening. Catch you next time on Giraffes Don't Eat Steak.